Hello everyone, today I'll be checking out my favorite YouTuber's bar, which is Lost Bar, opened by Chris Broad of Abroad in Japan. For lunch, I'll be stopping by a shop that's known for its Wagyu burgers, which Mr. Affable himself has raved about. It is raining outside, but I will not let that stop me, so you're not going to want to miss out because this is going to be epic. Right now, I'll be heading down to the Satsuki restaurant, which is the hotel's most expensive restaurant, for their buffet breakfast. I just served myself at the buffet, and my gosh, this is an incredible, luxurious buffet. The only reason I didn't try this out the other days I was here at the New Otani is because they open at 7 a.m. instead of 6:30. However, I think it might be worth waiting the extra half an hour and paying the higher price just for this luxurious breakfast. They have a variety of Western dishes like fried eggs, as well as some of the boiled meats, but to be honest, it's not too much different other than the other breakfast. However, they do have made-to-order omelets, but I just mainly want to focus on the Japanese breakfast. The first thing I want to try that's pretty cool is they have an orange juice machine where you can get fresh squeezed orange juice.
That may be harder than getting this.
Oh, that's delicious. It is very clean tasting. That definitely tastes like a freshly squeezed orange juice. It's completely different than the bottle stuff that they serve at the other one. I want to start off now with the tofu. This is their house-made tofu, which is a must at any Japanese hotel I stay at. I just topped it off with a little bit of soy sauce as well as leeks and ginger, so this is definitely going to be a flavorful bite. Oh, that is amazing. In my opinion, you haven't really had tofu until you've had freshly made tofu at a Japanese hotel. It's just so much more flavorful than the tofu I'll get back at the grocery stores in the US, and it just tastes so much different. This is like silken tofu. It's so smooth and buttery, and it has a lot of flavor. It's not bland at all. You can taste all the flavor from the natural soybeans. However, I do like it with a little bit of soy sauce and other toppings on top, because it elevates it even more. They also have some really interesting Japanese items as well. This is their miso mackerel. Oh, that's delicious. It is a mackerel grilled with saikyo miso. It has a really char-grilled flavor, and it's very oily and rich because it's an oily fish, so you definitely gotta eat it with some rice, and that is just like a classic Japanese breakfast item. They also have fresh fish cakes made in a nearby prefecture. Oh, this is delicious. Typically, I'm not a big fish cake person, but here in Japan, when it's a freshly made fish cake, I always get it. Here, it's really bouncy and chewy. It's almost like a fish gummy candy, but in the best way possible. And it's not fishy at all. It just tastes like a condensed version of fresh fish, so you really get that natural sweetness from the seafood flavor, and it is so clean tasting. And it's just a great pairing with rice, along with some of your other Japanese goodies. The next thing I want to try that's really unique I've never seen before is wasabi pickled in soy sauce. It comes along with stalks as well as the leaves of the wasabi, and I'm just going to eat it with some rice, so I already know it's going to be really sharp, spicy, and probably quite salty as well. The leaves themselves have a very subtle and surprisingly not too spicy flavor. It just tastes like a hint of horseradish mixed with a little bit of spinach, and it's very salty because of the soy sauce, but it's just amazing paired with the rice. It's really crispy and fun. I'm really excited about this wasabi stock as well, because I think this is going to be a lot more intense since it's really like the root of the wasabi, which is the part you grate up and eat with sushi. Oh, that is great as well. That one actually has a very much milder flavor. It's completely different. It definitely reminds me more of like a radish pickled in soy sauce, which is also incredible. And I'm not even a big pickle person either. That is really tasty. They also have some okra and sameji mushrooms, and this is really slimy, but I already think I'm gonna love it because I love mushrooms and I love okra. Oh, that is delicious. It is just like a mixture of okra and mushrooms and just a little bit of soy sauce. So I love that it's not too salty, and you definitely have to enjoy okra and the texture of okra to enjoy this dish, which I do like, and I think it's a great way to get some of your veggies in. For my final item right here, I want to try this mashed soybean mixture, which looks like a very traditional Japanese dish, and it's just mixed up with some veggies. Oh, that is really interesting. It just tastes like the interior of the soybean. None of the soybean skins are in there, so it just has a really light and fluffy texture, almost like mashed potatoes. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this up and maybe get some more savory food, and then I'll show you some of the sweets and desserts they have here. Okay, I got one last savory item. This is their tuna mayo rice ball, and they make handmade onigiri rice balls, which I thought was really impressive. Oh, that is expertly made rice ball. I love that the rice is perfectly packed. It's really soft and just kind of falls apart as you bite into it. And the best thing about it is it's still warm, and then that goes along with the cold tuna and mayo filling. And then you got the crispy seaweed on the outside. And I also love that the rice is salted. Anyways, that being said, now I'm gonna get a dessert plate. Here's my dessert plate. I decided to get a couple of items from their Pierre or May bakery that's on site, which is a luxury French bakery. And I also had to get some fresh melon. I want to start off with their yogurt from the Pierre May bakery, and it looks like there's some sort of red jelly filling on the bottom. That tastes like a freshly made yogurt. It's rich and creamy and has a bright and zingy tartness. And then on the bottom, you have this rose jelly. It just tastes like a house-made rose jelly. It's just so aromatic, and it tastes like I'm eating yogurt in a rose garden. Next, I want to try the Pierre May croissant, and it looks like it's covered in a sugar glaze. Oh, that is delicious. The quality of the croissant is pretty solid. You got the crispy outside, the flaky inside, and then on the outside, you have a sugar glaze that is very thin and not too sweet. So I think you'll enjoy this if you enjoy sweet pastries in the morning. I also had to try their praline Danish. Okay, that one's pretty sweet. You're definitely gonna wanna have that one with a cup of black coffee, because you got the really crispy and flaky croissant pastry, and then it's filled with a very sugary filling of raisins and some chopped up walnuts. So that is nice, but you gotta be careful and not eat too many of those, as that is one hefty treat. Finally, I had to try this Japanese melon. This looks incredible. It just looks like a classic Japanese melon, just bursting with juiciness, and I'm serious, they're just constantly flowing through plates of melon. I mean, they bring out a huge platter of melon, and then within a minute, it's completely gone, and then they come back into the kitchen and grab another huge platter of melon. So it is certainly a hit here. That, my friends, is a Japanese melon, which is one of the best melons you'll ever eat in your entire life. I mean, it just has such an intense, aromatic melon flavor. It's almost like candy, and then the texture of it is just ridiculous. I mean, you can barely even tell you're eating a melon. It's almost just like you're drinking a melon, because the second it touches your tongue, it just explodes with juiciness, and I feel like it almost expands in your mouth because of how juicy and sweet it is. Oh, I definitely know why the melon's so popular here, and I'm definitely gonna have to get some more. That was simply a wonderful breakfast buffet. If you're staying here at the Nyotani, I know it's quite pricey, but it's definitely worth it to have at least one breakfast at Satsuki, because I appreciated the quality and the variety of dishes they had. Now that I'm finished up with breakfast, I'll be heading to my next hotel, which is the Gate Hotel, and I'll see you once I get there. I just dropped off all my luggage at the Gate Hotel since it was too early to check in, and now I'll be heading to Blockhouse for their legendary Wagyu smash burger. I finally made it here to Blockhouse. It was about a 20-minute ride to the train station, and I got to Ebisu Station, and then it was a 10-minute walk here in the rain, but I got lost because the signal was really bad on Google Maps. So pro tip is if you're heading here to Blockhouse, I highly recommend getting a taxi directly here because I probably spent around 10 minutes just getting lost. I ordered their classic smash burger with a single patty, and it comes with their special sauce as well as aged white cheddar cheese. Oh, it just came out and this smash burger smells amazing. I can smell the fattiness already and the char on the burger. And I love that they give you a nice sharp knife as well as a fork to eat it because it's very messy. And this is a burger you'll struggle to eat with just your hands. Here we go, my first bite of a Wagyu burger in Japan. Oh, that is one heck of a burger. I definitely can tell it's Wagyu, and I love that it's a very thin patty, so it's just been really crisp-fried and crunchy, and the inside is juicy, and I love the deep, meaty flavor, and it's not overly fatty either. And you got the aged white cheddar on there for a bit of kick, and then you have their chipotle sauce, which adds a really unique, smoky flavor that I love with this burger. And then they also have a very high-quality, thick cut of a juicy red tomato. The smash burger set also comes with thin cut fries, which are my favorite. Oh, that is how you do French fries. You gotta have them straight out of the deep fryer, and they're really hot and crispy. And the best thing about it is they're not pasty at all because they're so thin, and it's almost like a potato chip. And I love the seasoning as well. It's not just salt, it's like a salt and paprika flavored mixture. So it's so much more complex, especially to go with this Wagyu burger. I just finished up that Wagyu smash burger and fries, and that was fantastic. I know it's a bit of a trek out here, but if you're in Tokyo and you're craving a burger, definitely check out Blockhouse. Anyways, now I'm going to be heading to Shibuya, and I have a bit of time before I head to my reservation at Lost Bar as I reserved their VIP room. A short taxi ride later, and I've made it here to Shibuya. You might have noticed that I drove across Shibuya Scramble, which was my first time doing it, and now I'll be taking you to a really unique vending machine. As we know, Japan is famous for its many vending machines, and here I found one that's very special. This is where I wanted to take you. This is a hot sauce vending machine by another one of my favorite YouTubers, Paulo from Tokyo. Paulo partnered with a small hot sauce company to produce his own unique blend of hot sauce, and it is incredibly spicy. He has two types of hot sauce, his original and then his milder umami ocean, which is actually the one I like because his original hot sauce is just insane. One drop of it will just light your mouth absolutely on fire. Oh wow, look at that. Even on top, there's a screen playing his video of how his hot sauce is made. Alright, all we have to do to get our hot sauce is just click the one we want, and then we just should be able to scan with our phone. And just like that, it beeps, and out will come our hot sauce just on the bottom right down here. And just like that, I've got the liquid gold umami ocean hot sauce. Now that my hot sauce is secured, let's head over to Lost Bar. I can't wait any longer. This is the Grand Tokyo building, and Lost Bar is on the second floor. This is the second floor of the building, and this is the entrance to Lost Bar. It is this giant gachapon machine that is disguised as the front door. They have a variety of gachapon machines, but I'm gonna go for the one that has the Lost Bar themed merchandise, so I'm gonna insert 5 100 yen coins into here. And now that my coins are inserted, all I have to do is turn a knob. And now pops our gachapon ball. Now that I got our gachapon ball, let's see what's inside. Sounds like it might be the keychain. And it looks like it's actually the Lost Bar signature bottle opener. Now it's finally time to step inside Lost Bar, and the key is, with this door, you do not want to just pull on it. because you can see it will not open, but there is a track off to the side. So all you have to do is slide this door open. And there we go. There is the entrance of Lost Bar. This is the VIP room of Lost Bar, which is used if you're going to make any sort of live content like live stream or YouTube videos, which is why I'm here. And unfortunately, I won't be able to show the rest of the bar out of respect for the other guests. So if you want to see the full tour of the Lost Bar, make sure to check out the video on the main Abroad in Japan channel. I gotta say, I absolutely love the theming of the menu, since all the signature cocktails have names from the Abroad in Japan YouTube channel that many fans would be familiar with. For example, there's a drink called Life is Balloons, and then there's another drink called the famous song Too Much Volcano. I ordered 3 drinks to try: the sparkling lychee lemonade, the Blue Monday, and the On the Beach. I also had to try Chris's famous cheese plate, which he has raved about on his podcast many times, because apparently he uses only imported British cheese, and apparently it's the best thing since sliced cheese. And that was flawless timing. Just as I finished my sentence, they came in with the cheese plate as well as cool towels. Oh, that is fantastic. That is just the best cheddar cheese you'll ever taste. It's very delicious and flavorful. You got that rich umami flavor from the cheese, and it's just addicting. After you take a bite, you just want to keep eating it, and I could see how this is really dangerous. I mean, I know this is a large plate, and on the menu, they say it's a family size and can be shared, but honestly, I could probably devour this whole thing myself, because this is so much better than any bright orange cheddar cheese you'll ever find. I can definitely see why this is a bestseller at the bar. I mean, I've heard that he goes through an enormous amount of cheese at the bar, since almost everyone that visits orders this, and I know that the cheese is going to go great with my drinks. The drinks just came out and they look so colorful and decorated, so I want to start off with the On the Beach, which is basically a virgin pina colada. Oh, that is delightful. The first thing I taste is just a burst of coconut flavor. It tastes like they use a coconut syrup, and then I'm also just getting a very slight hint of pineapple at the end, but it's not very tolerant at all. It's just very mild, and I already love this already. It's so rich and creamy. Oh, that is just so refreshing and fantastic. I feel like I'm sitting at the beach right now, just sipping on a pina colada. Next, I'll be going for the sparkling lychee lemonade, and I love anything with lychee in it. Oh, that is so fun because it's heavily carbonated, and I do get a taste of lychee flavor, and at the end, you just get a delightful citrusy finish. And finally, the Blue Monday. Now I was curious about this since it uses Calpis soda, which is a Japanese yogurt-based soda, which I love, and it's also very blue because they add a blue syrup in here. Oh, that one is delightful as well. It tastes like they added some carbonated water to this, so it's very sparkling. And you do taste the Calpis just a little bit. You kind of get that creamy, yogurty flavor. And at the end, you taste a lot of lemon as well. Overall, it's easy to say that I love the Lost Bar atmosphere. I mean, inside the bar is really cool, but it's all decorated with Abroad in Japan quotes and pictures. And then I love the quality of their menu as well. I mean, the cheese plate is amazing, and the drinks hit the spot. I just finished up a great time at Lost Bar, and I definitely recommend visiting Lost Bar if you're here in Tokyo. It's a must visit. Even if you're not familiar with the channel, I highly recommend the bar, as their drinks are incredible. Anyways, now I'm going to be heading back to my hotel to check in. I made it here to the Gate Hotel, and I just checked into my room, and it literally looks exactly the same as my room I checked into 2 years ago when I stayed here. Right when you enter the door, there are 3 beds, and they're all quite close to the door, and then off to the right is our luggage, which the hotel so nicely put in the room for us while we were out, and then straight ahead, you have the minibar. And then to the left of that, we have the window, and wow, this is pretty crazy. This is the exact same view I had 2 years ago, which is a view of the shopping center, the Tokyo Plaza, that is right next door. And off to the right, you have the bathroom. Right when you walk in, you have a door that opens out right here. And then you have the toilet, which is very nice because as you can see, when you walk up to it, the lid just opens for you. Off to the side, we have 2 sinks here, which I really appreciate since you don't often get 2 sinks at a hotel, and that's very convenient since I'm staying here with my parents. And then off to the right, we have the shower, which is awesome because this is a huge shower, the water pressure is pretty solid here, and you have a bathtub. And now I'm gonna be heading off to dinner, and I'm thinking that sushi sounds really good again because I absolutely can't get enough sushi when I'm in Japan, so I'm gonna see if the front desk has a recommendation for me. Alright, change of plans. I just decided to talk to the front desk, and I decided I was in the mood for Sukiyaki, which is like a sweet and savory Japanese stew, because I've actually never had it in Japan, and it sounded really good, and they were able to find a spot and make a reservation, and it's a pretty casual place that's only like a short 5-minute walk away, so let's go. I made it here to the restaurant and I decided to order their black Wagyu loin set, which looks incredible. The picture shows finely marbled black Wagyu loin, so I have a feeling that's going to be tasty in the Sukiyaki broth. They just brought out all of the ingredients for a Sukiyaki, and what's pretty cool is we make it ourselves. So basically, the meat is sitting on top of a burner, and we're gonna cook that for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna pour in 3 swirls of the broth, and then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar and cook it even more just to cook the meat through. Now that the meat has been cooking for 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in this broth 3 times. So that should be 1, that's a 2, and that is a 3. So I think that should be just enough broth. And now I'll sprinkle in 2 tablespoons of sugar. Alright, our Wagyu Sukiyaki is now done, and I can't wait to try this out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in my bowl and let it cool down for a bit. Just look at this, it is just boiling hot because it's literally made straight at your table, so you're never gonna have cold food. Alright, here we go. Oh, that is fantastic taste of Wagyu. I love the broth, but it's really sweet and savory, and it complements the Wagyu so nicely without covering up. It really just enhances the already intense, natural sweetness of the Wagyu, and I can already tell that this is a high quality Wagyu beef. While it won't be the most tender or the most fatty, that's actually a good thing for Sukiyaki. That way it's not super heavy. They also gave us a little bit of grated yam for dipping sauce, I believe, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it with the grated yam because I love this stuff, and you only get this type of grated yam when you're in Japan. Oh, the grated yam is an amazing pairing as well because the grated yam is cold, so it really cools down like the boiling meat, and the grated yam itself has a very slightly sweet flavor and a very slimy texture, so I really like how it cuts through some of the saltiness and savoriness of the broth. The traditional way you're supposed to eat Sukiyaki is with a raw egg because raw eggs are very safety in Japan, and many people eat them for a variety of meals, especially with Sukiyaki, but this will be my first time ever trying raw egg in Japan, which I've kind of been avoiding for a while, but since it's my 4th trip to Japan, I figured why not finally do it. We're just gonna go ahead and crack this into my bowl. And look at that, this is just a beautiful egg. I mean, the Japanese eggs always have the most perfect yellowish, orangish looking yolks. And of course, before we dip our beef into the egg, we gotta mix it up. Alright, here we go. We got a piece of meat, and I'm gonna go ahead and dip it in an egg, and just like that, it should be ready to eat. I'm a little scared, but I guess it's kind of like bungee jumping. Sometimes you just gotta go in and take the jump. You know what? I definitely get why raw egg is so important for Sukiyaki, because the second you take the meat out and place it into the raw egg, it just cools down the meat perfectly, and then the richness of the egg and the creaminess of that deep orange oak really adds so much to the flavor and the fattiness of Wagyu beef, and it really just enhances the experience. And to be honest, it doesn't even that much of a texture because not too much of the egg clings to the meat, and it's almost just like a light coating. That was a fantastic meal. I just couldn't believe the quality of the Wagyu. I actually forgot about a couple of the pieces of the Wagyu, and I found them at the end of my meal after they had been boiling for ages at the very bottom of the pot, but surprisingly, they were still just incredibly tender. The meal was only 3,580 yen per person, and at today's conversion rate, that's close to 25 US dollars. So I think that is just unbelievable price to value ratio, because I mean, you're literally getting Japanese Wagyu cooked in a Sukiyaki hot pot broth for only $25, and in my opinion, that is a steal, because yes, it's not the most premium A5 Wagyu, but who cares really, because it's still very tender and delicious. I made it back from dinner, and on my way back to the hotel, I stopped by the Tokyo Plaza building, which I showed you earlier, which is literally just across the street from my hotel. I visited the TWG Tea outlet there, which is a Singaporean tea brand, and I was excited because I already tried some of the tea on my Singapore Airlines flight over here, so I already knew that their tea is fantastic, and I got some special items. I got this Tokyo Singapore tea, which is this special green tea blend that they only sell in Tokyo. And I also had to try out these cookies, which are made with their tea, and they only sell these cookies in Tokyo. They do not sell them in Singapore. Finally, I got their yuzu macaron to try right now, since that is another item that they only sell in Tokyo. So I feel like I gotta try some of the Tokyo exclusive items and then try some of the Singaporean exclusive items, but once I go to Singapore. Here we go. I'm looking forward to this because I'm like a macaroon connoisseur. That's a delicious macaroon, and I love the outside because it's really crispy and the inside is chewy, and then it's filled with like yuzu jam, and I also love that bright citrusy flavor, and that goes incredible in this macaron. And that wraps up one epic day here in Tokyo. I mean, I don't think it really gets much better than that. 2 Wagyu meals, plus visiting Lost Bar, and a luxurious hotel breakfast buffet. Tomorrow I will be spending another day in Tokyo, and it will be full of adventures, so you're not going to want to miss out on that either. As always, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.